Oh, there we go. Cool. All right, we're going live on YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook as well. Got my monitor over here, but we're just gonna do this every Friday morning. Kind of stream from the store, and um, I have a topic for today, but I'm gonna kind of share some updates with the store as well as go over the topic. And if you have any questions, or if anyone joins and come say hi, hopefully we can chat with some people too. Um, and hopefully we'll see maybe someone's joining from Los Angeles. We're in LA, BG's tabletop, so maybe someone come say hi in the store. I mean, we open technically at 12, but if you come wave on the window, you'll see me streaming. All right, I just want to check the sound on YouTube and our other channel. I think Twitch or TikTok should be good. Should be able to hear me. Hopefully, if you can't hear me, let me know. Gonna hear an echo here for a second. Okay, cool. We're live. Sounds good. Oh, I forgot my sticky note. I had a sticky note for what I was going to talk about today. I know the first thing that I want to share is some updates with BG's tabletop. So, one thing I always talk about, and I think it's in a link. Let's see if it's on YouTube. It might be on YouTube and Facebook. I don't think you can get it on Twitch, but there's a link to our email newsletter. I guess it's an older link, but it says get updates for brick and mortar store. Or brick and mortar store is already open, so that was kind of an update for um, when we were getting ready to open. But you can click on that link and you can check out all of our updates. That's pretty much our catch-all for everything related to BG's tabletop. Um, Hi, Joaquin. Thank you for joining on TikTok here. Hi, Teddy. Thank you for joining. Trying to read these usernames on TikTok. And if you're watching on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch, you can chat with us. If you type in the comments or wherever you're at, I can read them on the monitor here. So I'm happy to answer any questions, or if you just want to say hi, feel free to drop a comment too. But to start, I want to share some updates for BG's tabletop. So we released our event calendar for May. So we're doing 3 events a week for sure. We might add some additional events down the road. Um, so some events we're doing our board game day. So that's our very first event. I'm going to just move the phone camera over so it doesn't look like I'm looking at 2 different things. We're going to do our board game events every Saturday. So those will be Saturdays from 12 to 4. We'll do those on Saturdays. And then for that, you can just come. It's very community focused, community centered. So you come, you find people to play games with. Maybe you bring a game that you want to play and you know how to play and you want to teach others how to play it. Or maybe you bring a game that you're not really sure how to play and you picked up recently, but you're hoping to find someone that knows how to play. You can try to bring it and see if there's someone here. Can't make any promises for that, but again, it's very community centered. So really up to you as far as what games you want to play, how many people you want to play with. We have space for how our normal setup is. I think it's like 16 chairs, but we can kind of squeeze in about maybe 4 to 6 more seats. So we can probably get about 20 people pretty comfortably. Once we get past 20, it gets a little bit more cramped, but we can still manage if we have a little bit more than 20 people. For the event, it's $5 for the day, but you can use those $5 towards a game purchase or game-like purchase. So we have like books too, dice. You can use it towards any of those things as well. Mainly anything except for our drinks, our bottled drinks. So use it towards anything else in the store. So that's our first event on Saturdays. Super excited for our first board game meetup. Really curious how it's going to go, who's going to come, what we're going to play. Well, I won't be playing, I'll be working, but what everyone else is going to play. Our next event will be on Sunday. So Sunday is our Pokemon day. It's going to be our Pokemon day. We have a beginner class this Sunday. So that is for very new players. It's for essentially younger players. If you want to join, if you have someone who is maybe older than 12, they're welcome to join. But I so far most interest has been for like 6 to 10, 11 years old maybe. Um, but that's very entry level into how to play Pokemon. So the very basics, we use the Battle Academy, which is a new release for the tutorial for how to play the card game. And we walk you through how to play it. So the Battle Academy is great because it actually walks you through it already. But for the class, I go through it with each pair of players. Um, and I'm there to answer questions as well. And for the class, you get the Battle Academy. So that's one thing you get for signing up for the class. You get the Battle Academy, and you also get some booster packs. So that is on Sunday, and then starting the following Sunday, we'll have a beginner plus class. So that's a little bit more. Um I would say it's like still we're gonna use some basic decks, but I'm gonna be there to answer questions. You're gonna kind of play on your own. So again, this is kind of for younger players, but at least you should have had taken the previous class or know how to play the game pretty well to join the beginner plus. But what's really cool after that class, we're gonna have our Pokemon meetups. So that's gonna be a very casual event. You can come find people that are also Pokemon players or Pokemon collectors and get to know each other. Battle if you'd like to as well. So again, if you're here from, I got a few people on TikTok. What's up, Rika? Thank you for joining. A couple of people watch on Facebook or YouTube. I don't really know. We use a restream, so it sends it to all of them. But feel free to say hi, leave a comment. If you have questions, you can leave a question. We're just streaming from the store. We're gonna just share some updates, talk about some things going on, talk about maybe some new games we recently got in, or some games we played. Eventually, maybe we'll have some more games added to our lending library. So our lending library it has probably a little over 100 games in there right now, and you can use those. You can come use our play space. Again, $5 for the play space, but you can use those $5 towards a game purchase the same day, and you can play any of the games in our library. You can also rent our games for a week. So we have a rental program where you can take them home from a week and bring them back. So the rentals are anywhere from $2.99 to $11.99 depending on the game. Um, so again, maybe we'll share some new games that get added to the library. If we if we get a lot of requests for games that people would like to have added to our library, we can do that too. But again, if you're watching, feel free to say hi, leave a comment. I'm gonna grab my sticky note because I had some things I wanted to talk about. All right. So I know I have a topic for today, and I'll have a specific topic every Friday, but it's Fridays are very casual streams. Um, just kind of hanging out at the store. We'll maybe have some in person guests down the road. We'll see how that works as far as who we can line up in LA. Uh, but eventually, um, I'm going to actually record the first episode after this stream. We're gonna do our video cast. So we had a podcast of about 150 episodes, a little over 150 episodes. What's up, Rob? Thanks for joining. Um, we had over 150 episodes of our podcast, Board Game with Education. So that was a podcast and video cast. And with that, we stopped doing it. We kind of abruptly stopped. We kind of hinted at the fact that we were going to stop, but come back. But we never came back with that podcast. We're going to start a whole new one called BGE's Tabletop. We'll release an episode on Board Game with Education every once in a while, just for anyone that has that in their podcasting stream still, and they want to get some episodes that are related to board gaming with education. Um, but that'll be more structured. So Fridays mornings, we're just doing some streams. We'll be on TikTok. We'll be on like Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. Feel free to ask any questions, or maybe we'll answer some questions that were asked throughout the week. But we'll kind of just share some new games that we got in again. So I'll talk about some new games. I have one right behind me. I'm trying to put some behind me when we do these streams. Libertalia. So Libertalia is from Stonemaier Games. Stonemaier Games, excellent publisher. They have a lot of, you would say, like evergreen titles for the board game hobby, which means they are games that you can stock and you will be pretty certain they will sell. One of them being Wingspan. Wingspan was really popular. They released some stats about that. There's over 1 million copies of Wingspan sold, which is crazy and really awesome. But that's one new game we've gotten in recently. If you're watching the replay or if you're joining now, have you played Libertalia? It's a remake or a reskin, kind of like a reskin, but I think they've updated some mechanics with it. I haven't played the new one. I've only played the old one once a couple months ago, and we didn't get a finish, unfortunately. But I really liked it, so I'm excited to hopefully try out Libertalia. Um, what other games have we gotten in recently? We have the new Magic set, so that's something that came out last week. Or 2 weeks ago was the pre-release event, I think. 7 second board games. Thank you for joining. Ooh, that's a tongue twister. That's a tongue twister. Um, I'm just looking over here because I have my monitor for our other streams as well. If you have questions, feel free to leave a comment. Today's Friday, so we have a lot of stuff to do. Usually, for some reason, just how I do my orders, we get our shipments in on Fridays too. So we have a lot of newer stuff coming in today. Newer stuff for restocks. I'm excited for one restock called Corridor. So if you're on TikTok, let me know if you've seen a video for the game Corridor, because that video is super popular on TikTok, and we stocked it a couple times and it sold out each time we've stocked it. This time we're getting quite a few copies, so we'll see how long it lasts. And the board game industry is kind of unique, where uh, between print runs it becomes kind of difficult to find some games. So it just depends on the publisher and how they manage their print runs too. But yeah, we're getting some restocks, getting some new Pokemon in today too. Pokemon's been very popular since we've been open. It's been popular ever since we started carrying it about a little over a year ago. We started carrying it with the battle style set. If you're familiar with Pokemon, um, what else have we gotten in? I'm gonna check I I will check my email so I can look at my invoices for what is coming today. So one thing I know that's coming, we're getting a bunch of miniatures. I think I ordered about 50 plus different RPG miniatures. Mainly they're miniatures for characters, because that's one thing we want to get going. Again, I was talking about the events, so that's something else that we're starting on Thursday. So not this week. No, well, yesterday was this week. So next Thursday we're starting D&D nights. So with D&D nights, if you know anyone that's interested in joining, or a DM, we're still looking for a DM for next week. Um, that starts on Thursday. So we got a bunch of miniatures for D&D, like just RPG miniatures. Oh, we ordered a fun worker placement that I've played recently called Meeples and Monsters. Um, Rob says, going to hold any Pokemon tourneys? Maybe eventually. Very casual stuff to start, at least. Rob's in Kansas City, so in LA, there's a lot of stores that already do that in our area. So we might do it if we get a lot of requests for tournaments. Specifically, we definitely have a big Pokemon community of younger players here for sure. So we're trying to kind of cater to that demographic right now. Um, that's why we have our beginner class and beginner plus class. I've kind of thrown around the idea of Pokemon entrepreneurship. So, kind of looking at how Pokemon cards can be a learning process for becoming an entrepreneur. So, what kind of lessons you can learn from collecting and maybe selling and trading Pokemon cards, um, geared towards younger players, especially younger business people, maybe aspiring business people. Um, we got the Coyote and Crow RPG. I don't know much about this RPG, but I've seen a lot of posts about it. It looks really good. The art looks really cool too. Um, we got some Genius games. Actually, we already have those in. I just have to inventory them. Um, we got a couple math ones. One called Outnumbered. It's a superhero based math game. I don't know the mechanics of the game, so I still need to kind of research it a little bit more. But essentially, the theme is superheroes, and there's some math behind the game, so you're kind of practicing math. Um, Catapult Castle. So someone was talking to me the other day about an old school board game where you shot cannons and tried to knock over the other players, like castle or whatever. And that is a new game that we got, not the same one. It's I think a different kind of game. I don't know if they were inspired by that old school one, but it's called Catapult Castle. Same thing. You have little catapults and you're trying to shoot your cannons across the field, whatever it is, if it's the floor or the table, trying to knock over the other player's stuff. Redford, I don't think Redford's watching because Redford's mainly on Instagram, but we had an interview with Board Dad yesterday on Instagram. So if you go to Instagram and search at BOARD Dad, you can find that interview. But Redford's a puppet and he has visited our store a couple times now and he despises Monopoly. So we carry a few Monopolies. We carry the different like variations. I'm looking up at our shelf right now. We have like Bob's Burgers, the new movie coming out. We have Sailor Moon, My Hero Academia, Dragon Ball Z, Naruto, Animal Crossing, Goonies. I think that's all of them we carry at the moment. But we're also getting Hello Kitty and Friends. That's been a really popular one recently, actually. So yeah, Fridays, if you're here, come say hi. You can leave a comment, ask any questions. We're gonna do this very casual Friday streams. Hopefully, in the future, we'll have some guests in person. If you're in LA, that's a hint. If you're in LA and you want to come join a live stream down the road, I mentioned we're getting a bunch of the D&D figures. We're getting some Pokemon. We're getting Hero Quest. That was a really popular game in the 80s. I never played it. It was a little bit too before my time, just barely, maybe by about a few years. But that's really popular. We're getting, I think, just one copy in, uh, maybe two. I can't remember how many we ordered. With the bigger games, it's hard to order a bunch of copies as a new store because they're very expensive for us and they're expensive for our customers. So um, we have a limited budget for our inventory at the moment. So unfortunately, we cannot carry everything. Maybe someday we'll be able to carry every board game. But that's actually our topic here today. So I'm gonna take a drink of my coffee and then we can talk about our topic for Friday. All right. So our topic, I think I kind of talked about everything I wanted to. Um, our events, we're going to stream every Friday. Our video cast will be coming out shortly. I'm going to record that episode now. And then our topic is how I decide what products to stock. Um, oh my goodness. I just realized this whole time I was talking on TikTok without the thing connected, which is fine, but hopefully you can still hear me and it sounds a lot more crisp now. I didn't have my microphone connected on TikTok. I was connected on YouTube and Facebook and Twitch. But so the topic is how I decide what games to carry in our store. This is because I was inspired by this topic again because of the interview yesterday with Board Dad. So again, if you search at BOARD Dad on Instagram, you can check out that interview. Um, but he asked me, I can't remember his question exactly, but it led to this conversation, like deciding what games to carry. So for me, I kind of broaden it to what products. Um, so that's, I think, a big challenge for me, especially in a new store. There are some products that I know I can stock and I can be very confident in stocking them. Everything, even those products, are a risk because it could be something that sits on our shelf for a long time. So Pokemon is one that's like I pretty much every set that comes out, every new product, I order a bit of it, and the main products for a new set of copies of it. Like you can see the booster box right there. We'll order several copies of the booster box, but unfortunately, we don't get everything we order because Pokemon products are allocated, so we don't get as many as we actually want. Magic, we stock a little bit. We stock a very baseline level of Magic at the moment, especially because not a lot of people are aware of us in the area and know that we carry Magic, and there are a lot of stores in the area that already carry Magic. Um, so Magic is not one that we are at the point where we're instantly ordering everything that comes out. We're ordering kind of the base sets like the commander decks, a set booster box, a couple of set booster boxes, a couple draft boxes, a couple collector boxes. Um, maybe the special bundles. Can we see it? Are up there. Um, so those are kind of the main ones that a lot of people think about when they think about a hobby shop. So one thing that we are a bit trying to distinguish ourselves from the traditional hobby shop is we're more focused on a family friendly environment and bridging that gap between the general population and a hobby store. So with that, we also have to think about what other products we stock that accomplish that mission. So we, of course, Monopoly. That's one that we can stock, and I'm happy to have any type of Monopoly game because it's cool to have a variety of them. And when someone comes in, maybe they're looking for a specific one, and I'm kind of casting a wide net with the different Monopolies. And sometimes people like Monopoly just because of what version it is. They kind of cool ways they add the characters, add the properties to Monopoly as an IP. So again, it's really easy to stock the staples or the I don't know if you call it staples, but the ones that I'm less worried about the risk of stocking, I can be pretty certain we'll sell it. And then we get into ones that are I can feel pretty confident that I can have a couple copies in our store at all times. And I mentioned Stonemeyer Games. We have, I think, at least one copy of all their games. We might be missing one game. Yeah, I think we're missing Charterstone. So, but like with Wingspan, we have several copies. We have Scythe, we have Viticulture. So that's publisher Libertalia. I think we ordered 4 copies when that first came in. Asmodee, which is a big distributor slash publisher slash store now because they own a miniature market online. Um, with them, they have a top 40 it's like a retailer flagship program. So they have a top 40 and we need to carry 2 products of all their games, but I'm happy to do that because those games are likely to sell and 2 copies of them are not too many. Um, then there are games that are hot. So I'm trying to break it into a couple different categories. Again, if you have questions about this topic or any other questions about our store, feel free to leave a comment. Fridays, we're going to do a live Friday stream, very casual every Friday before we open. If you're in the area, if you're in Los Angeles, let me know because we can have you in person as a guest during our Friday streams. Um, but as far as games go, again, that's kind of where we're at as far as deciding what products to carry. And then there's the other category that then maybe there's 2 more categories. They're very close. So there's the category of like indie publishers and supporting those publishers because they have some good games and I really enjoy their games personally, or I know they're good games for our customer base or community. So those can be a little bit more riskier for us to stock because not a lot of people may not be familiar with those games. So then it becomes us as quote unquote evangelicals for that game and trying to sell it when people come to our store and it seems like a good fit for the customer. So that's very similar to just other games that are from maybe not independent publishers, but also just haven't broken the static of all the board games out there, and they're kind of like still great games, still good games, still fits a specific customer, but then they're not a game that is almost a guarantee sell at some point. It's also becomes a thing where we as store owners or maybe working in the store, we kind of need to know about the game and we need to be able to suggest it when it's appropriate for a specific customer. Um, the other products that we carry, so those are kind of games and or tabletop or card games. Similar idea with RPGs, D&D. We can pretty much stock one copy of like the Dungeons and Dragons stuff. We don't carry all the accessories, like all the tabletop modular boards or minis yet, but we carry a baseline of it. We have a few paint kits. Eventually, maybe we'll get a paint rack. We just got to find a place for it in the store. Um, and then the indie RPGs, very similar to indie RPGs or board game publishers. We have to decide, like, okay, well, I think this RPG would work well with our customer base, our community, or I really think this is a really good RPG and I want to kind of push it out there more, and we'll carry it. Um, and then I kind of skipped over the hotness. So hot games that are just really hot, really popular. Everybody's talking about it online. We try to carry those, but sometimes we're late to the party because again, we have to kind of go out on a limb with some smaller publishers, and we never know if they're gonna be they're gonna have a hot game down the road. So that's how we try to kind of handle our games and what games to carry. And of course, we like to have a wide selection. So we have an office space where we kind of can carry some back copies or overstock. So that's really, really nice. And we're fortunate to have that. So we can kind of maybe decide that maybe one game or another game we want to carry a few copies extra of. But then what we really try to do is have a wide net. So a lot of different games. So when someone comes in the store, we have a lot of games for people to look at, and we have some suggestions for a very specific like gaming experience that someone's looking for. So those are games, and then we have other products that we carry that we kind of have uh, a system for deciding, a little bit of a system. We're still working on that. We're still a new store, so hi Fungi81, thank you for joining. Um, So let's see. We have dice. We have dice bags. We have plushies. We have a little bit of like Etsy-ish small creator stuff. We're looking to carry more of that. Um, so if you know anyone in the LA area, we are looking for other things that would go well with our store. So plushies, we carry like big IP name plushies, like some Mario, some anime plushies. And we also have squishables. So squishables are really cool plushies. They do really well for us too in the store. Maybe you can see that we carry like plushies like that too, but that it's in our inventory to sell, but it's kind of our mascot. So if you see our logo above us too, there's a tentacle. Cthulhu is kind of part of our brand a little bit. So you see those plushies up there. Those are squishable plushies. I showed those on TikTok. So if you're watching on YouTube, Twitch, or Facebook, you didn't get to see those. But you can search online. So you can search like Plague Doctor, Grim Reaper. We have like Shark, a Wizard, a Witch, a lot of different cool plushies. And they're huge too. And then we have like dice bags, dice trays. So we carry a couple different um, manufacturers of dice and dice gaming accessories. Foam Brain Games is a dice company that is really cool. They make some really, really cool dice. So we carry a few of their dice. We're gonna start carrying a critical hit dice. So we ordered some through them this week. It should be coming today. I got some metal dice there. We got some dice trays from them. And what's really cool is they're in Chatsworth, LA, Los Angeles. So that's like literally a 15-20 minute drive from us. So really cool that we're supporting also another local business, which is awesome. And then we have some anime figures. So those are kind of just something that we'll expand a little bit more down the road. Probably in the summer, we'll get another order in of some anime figures. They sell pretty well. People really like them. They're really popular at the moment. They make excellent Christmas gifts too. So during the holidays, we'll have a bunch of those as well. But we have a limited selection now. We kind of had ordered a bunch, and now we're down to a little bit. But yeah, that's kind of how we decide what to carry. I'm trying to think of what other products we might carry that collectible card games. Another collectible card game is My Hero Academia. Carry that because I played it at Gamma and I really liked it. I think it has a lot of potential for our community too. I just need to learn a little bit more of how to play and do some how to play meetups for the game. Um, but yeah, Fridays live stream. Any questions? Leave a comment. Hey, Mackenzie, how's it going? I think maybe it's Mackenzie there. Those broke gamers. You're joining my live stream. I was on your live stream last. Was that yesterday? Days go to become a blur. Um, but yeah, I guess those are the things I wanted to talk about this morning. Events again. Board game days on Saturdays are Pokemon days on Sundays and D&D nights on Thursdays. You can go to our website, bgetabletop.com, and go to events and programs, and you will be able to um, RSVP or sign up. The the D&D night, you need to RSVP. The Pokemon, it's paid classes, but then also we'll have a Pokemon meetup that is not paid. It's $5 just for the play space. But again, you can use those $5 towards a game or game like purchase. You can buy a Pokemon booster pack with those $5. Um, and then D&D night, need to RSVP. Saturdays, board games, you can just show up. Just as long as there's space, you can come and play. Um, those broke gamers, are you still selling online? I am. We are still selling online. Sorry, I saw something pop up on TikTok, so I got confused. It's so confusing in TikTok live streams. They need to kind of work on that. There's too many things going on on my screen. Um, but events, and we'll do our live streams every Friday. We're gonna start our video cast here. We want to get some episodes recorded before we launch it, so I'm gonna record our introduction episode here in just a few minutes. Well, it's almost 12, so I'm gonna try to squeeze it in. See if I can finish it before. Uh, Thank you for the likes, those broke gamers. Check out their channel too if you're watching on TikTok. All right. So, and then we'll have a topic every Friday. So, we just talked about how I decide what products to stock and how we kind of decide what games to carry and how we do that. Next Friday, we'll decide on a topic. That topic from Bowser Gaming Guide. Thanks for joining and liking the video or the live. Um, Next Friday, we'll have another topic, but this topic was inspired from the interview I did with @BoredDad on Instagram. We talked about, I guess, me and BGEs in that interview. What new games are you carrying? So, one, Libertalia is a new game that we have from Stonemaier Games. Um, Meeples and Monsters, that's another one that's coming in that's pretty new. Um, Trying to think if there's any other games that are newer that we're carrying. I don't think so. Again, because of our topic, how we decide what products to carry. One thing that's tough is we have a budget for our inventory because we're a new, smaller store and we don't have that much space. So, unfortunately, I wish we could carry every new game. Maybe we'll get there someday. Again, being online is nice. That's something I didn't talk about with the topic is what's nice about being online is if it doesn't sell here, maybe someone online will want to buy it. We haven't gone the route of using third party websites yet, but I know some stores do that and it's nice for them because there's a buyer for everything on those sites. Like some stores do eBay, Amazon, there's now Walmart does it and Target does it. So using those third party seller sites as a resource for stores are a good way to make sure you can sell your products. Because again, having products sit is you want to make sure you're going through your products as quick as possible to be able to grow as a business. So, all right, well, we're gonna end the stream because I got to record the episode. I got to build an office chair for our cash wrap, and we have a large order coming in today. So I think I have a pretty good feeling that that means it's going to be busy today because when I'm busy and need to do other things, it means we're going to be busy, which is good. I'm excited. Hopefully, we'll get a lot of people in the store today. Thanks for watching, Mackenzie, and I think Bowser Gaming Guide. If you're still here, thanks for watching. If you're on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, thank you for watching. You can leave a comment, and we'll talk to you next week.